We should do a sex toy episode.
No. I thought about it this week.
Didn't we already do it anyways?
No, I thought about it this week, and we have to do it. We need to do a major categories of porn show. We need to do like our fan favorite, like what's our best overall, like of the
I have
group.
some favorites.
And then we need to do
Like the
like
categories.
because like if you go on a porn site, right?
Yeah, it's
You've got like they don't. You don't
much.
have to type anything into the search. They've got like 20 buttons pre-programmed, like anal, fisting, anal fisting, deep throat, schoolgirl, bukkake, edging. That's a new thing. The milking tables.
Yeah,
we could go on and on. We need to do this next week. I think we're going to do it. We'll each take a few of them. We'll split them up this week.
Yeah, I'll
right?
come up with some
and we got to talk about what the we're going to list the categories of the most, like, if you go on a porn site, I want you to find like 10 I want you to write down 10 categories that you think dominate the site. And I'm going to come up with the same, and Dan's going to come up with the same. Then we're going to cross-reference the 3 lists. We're not going to tell each other which site we went on either. So when we do that...
But what if we all go on the same site?
Oh, well. It doesn't matter.
It's all going to be the same anyway.
I don't think so. I'm into all kinds of stuff. And who knows what you're into with the sounding. And the vampire guy over here.
Yeah.
But like... Reality.
UFOs.
Science.
Consciousness.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
That might not be a real thing. The podcast.
Citizens of the planet Earth, and eventually, if this transmission reaches out into space, citizens of the universe, welcome back to the show. That might not be a real thing.
The podcast.
The podcast. I'm your host, Candyman, coming at you with Danny and Macca. This show is brought to you by NRG Tree. Check them out at nrgtree.com for all your stuff solar, and that's NRG Tree. We're working on it. It's a work in progress, all right, people?
I think it's pretty good, actually.
Well, I can't sing. I can only dance.
You can dance if you want to.
Yeah.
I got no sing. Like if I was like a Dungeons and Dragons character, they gave me a 0 singing ability on the scorecard, but I got double max points on dancing.
I want to learn how to sing like for metal, and I want to join a band.
You got time.
You
to
can
do
learn.
It.
Yeah,
you should talk to Spinny, and maybe you can work it in with him as like you come as a guest sometimes.
You can learn how to scream. Like there's like teachers that teach you how to do it, how to like control your vocal cords and everything.
Singing is an ability like anything else, but at the end of the day, a lot of it is you learn how to do it with like controlling the muscles of your diaphragm and the air and everything. Like you can get better at it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just want to like go up there with like spandex on and like rip my shirt off and scream.
Like there's always going to be like
blood,
once in a lifetime singer that everyone's like, oh my god,
of course,
that was the greatest. Like Luciano Pavarotti like dominated opera for like 30 years, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what the competition was out there on the opera scene.
You know any of the name though?
Other than Luciano Pavarotti?
No, I don't.
Sure, I do.
Yeah, who?
Well, the blind guy Andrea Bocelli, for starters, who succeeded, who I think took over his role. Yeah. I have a whole... Exactly. I have a whole fucking playlist of classical and opera that I listen to all the time. I'm a fan of Andrew Lloyd Webber. He's more of a musical guy. I wouldn't put him up with opera, but I mean,
he's a composer, I think, right?
Yeah, but
he's a poser.
All his stuff that he does,
he's a composer.
All his stuff he does is like Broadway.
Yeah,
probably.
Probably.
Odds are, I don't even know if the motherfucker's still alive. I don't know. Whatever. I think he is. But no, he does Cats. Fucking Phantom of the Opera. Joseph and the Technicolor
Dreamcoat. He does Cats.
Like 10 other. I don't know. You ever go to see the play Cats? I don't know.
I haven't seen it.
Some of the female cat actresses in the cat costumes.
They look hot. Lots of pussy.
James T. Kirk slept with
I'm going with
a couple
of today.
what are you gonna do? James T. Kirk slept with a couple of cat species aliens.
Yeah.
It was awesome. See, Star Trek's full of great things. You're missing out.
If you don't watch it.
So I'll get into the NRG Tree thing in a minute, because now I'm officially part of that crew, which is wild because it's the first thing I've done outside of cannabis in 15 years. But it's something I can get behind because I like the dudes that run the thing, and I believe that solar is probably better than some other. I don't want to get too into like the debate of clean energy, because it's like we just don't know the long-term ramifications of all the solar panels and batteries and battery building and all that shit. But I gotta believe in my gut it's better than the current burning of fossil fuels. But I don't have the numbers to crunch. But the big news for today, really, we'll get into it in a minute, is you went to the Vampire Ball last night, Dan.
The Endless Night Vampire Ball in Salem, Massachusetts.
Wow.
And it's the real thing.
Oh, it was the real thing. All right. It was like something out of Underworld or Queen of the Damned.
We put pictures up of you and King before the ball. We'll put up another one of you.
There's a really good one, like a makeup artist took me. And then, so before the ball started, we got professional photos done. Our expensive photo session with a professional known photographer. Like, it was insane. It was like a modeling set. It was like unbelievable. Like every like
plug said photographer. So
I don't remember his name, but but basically like some Italian guy. But it was like so crazy. Like every detail, the lighting checks, and fucking tilting your head and doing this and that. The photos are gonna be like, it's not just like a regular quick photo shoot. Like it was like half an hour, like insanely detail-oriented photo shoot.
Was it there?
It was there, yeah, in the Hawthorne Hotel in a special room.
And this was part of the VIP package?
Well, no, we bought it.
Okay.
We booked it. Yeah.
Very cool.
So because we wanted because we put in so much into the makeup and the costume, and the outfits.
I think you've done
Not
more.
a costume, it's an outfit, because I will wear this thing to funerals and weddings from now on. But it, yeah.
Yes, he will.
I will. And it was worth getting like $300 photos, like, you know.
What are you gonna do? Can't take it with you when you're gone. That photo.
Yeah,
kids will have that.
We
They'll be
wanted
like,
to
look
do
at
it
our
this
crazy.
one time. We might not do it next year, but like we wanted to do it once where we have really sick photos of each other, because we never get photos done of each other.
You don't know what the future holds. You're in shape right now.
Yeah,
King's
man.
looking good too. I mean, she bounces back from pregnancy like nobody's business.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. She was looking fucking great.
I've known you a long time. Say 25 years.
25 years, yeah. Wow.
I think you've done more like what you would define as things that are like cool to you. Like I think you've done more cool shit
years.
in the last single year than you've done
Yeah,
in the
right.
span of your entire life that
Right?
I've known you.
It's like
You've packed it all into this year. You've like a motley crew, tattoos, fucking this thing.
I'm
that
having a
thing.
ball.
You are having a ball.
I'm very happy.
You went to a ball.
Yeah, I'm very happy. It was really cool. And we met a lot of interesting people, like beautiful people. Like I told you, like we met that guy. He was like
transgender.
Well, it was trans, but people don't really do that anymore. Like it's just this guy Gerard. He was like the most beautiful person I've ever seen in my life.
This is a girl who has decided to become a male, but still
yeah, but like
kind of
androgynous, like
Yeah.
just like an inspiration as far as like that style goes. Really cool.
The only thing I could compare to,
Lead singer of a band too, Second Salem.
Based on the photo I've seen, the only thing I can compare that person to in terms of like raw, good looking, like I'd fuck it. I'm not sure if it's a guy or it's a girl. Is Brett Michaels from Poison?
Yeah, just really
because he's a pretty guy, right? Like when you look him in the face, you're like, oh yeah, that's a pretty girl.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a dude. What am I looking at? You know?
especially back in the day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Brett Michaels back in the day. Who knows?
So like we met a lot of interesting people. Like we met a guy in drag who was like 6'8", and then he had like 5-foot platforms on.
Wow.
So he was so big. We took a picture with him. He was so big. It was unbelievable.
Were you up to his cock? Like
Seriously, yeah.
he had
Can you send
5.
me the
What do you mean
picture?
5-foot platforms? Were you on stilts, or you mean
No,
5
he was
inches?
on like just big fucking shoes.
All right,
So it made him like over 7 feet tall.
Shit.
gotcha,
Yeah, it was really crazy.
gotcha.
So yeah, so we met. So I knew a couple people there, and then like we made a bunch of friends. People came in from all over the country to go to this thing, and yeah, it was a fucking great time. And we like the way we planned it out too. Like she was getting her hair cut, and then like everything was like perfect down to like 10 minutes, and I was like I had anxiety the whole time we're gonna miss something because I didn't want to miss the photo shoot because it was expensive. I didn't want to, you know what I mean? So like We Ubered there. We drove to Danvers. We made it to everything we had to. So I was happy.
Fucking great.
All on time.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I drank too. I had like 5 drinks.
The absinthe.
I tried the absinthe. The absinthe is the most disgusting shit ever.
I've had it.
It's stiff
tough to
as
put
can
down.
be.
It's tough.
It's lighter fluid.
It's tough to
It's
put down.
horrible. So Kingsley drank a bunch of it. She was pretty drunk, and yeah, we had a good time.
So did you get drunk?
I got a little tipsy. Yeah. And I had purple contacts in for the first like 3 hours, and my eyes were fucking so dry and killing me. So I ended up taking them out, but it sucks because like I'll sacrifice comfort for style any day, and 'cause I like vanity, but there's a point where like your eyes are killing, and it's like, yeah, I'm done with these things.
Comfort for style. You don't have to do
But a lot of people like stop me to take pictures with me and stuff, and they're like, oh, did you do your makeup? I'm like, no, this makeup we had a really good professional makeup artist. So
When you get bell bottoms made out of stretchy jeans material, you have comfort and style.
yeah,
I just want to let you know.
our makeup artist was Desiree.
I have a pair in there.
Desiree Reinhardt,
Bare
named
comfort.
Desiraptor on Instagram.
Ooh.
So she does all sorts of makeup all over Massachusetts and New Hampshire. And
Sounds
stuff.
like an online gamer tag.
Yeah, she's real cool.
I told Dan on the way in, I was like, I'm into this thing, I'm into that thing, I'm making money over here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, right? And I was like, but all I care about is playing Xbox. It's getting high and playing Xbox.
We saw a lot of cool like entertainment there. Like you'd just be sitting there with a drink, talking with people, and then all of a sudden they'd clear the floor in the VIP area, and there'd be like a bondage like rope dance.
The
Like,
vampire subculture
yeah,
is wild.
It was wild. There were like signs. The basement was really got a little wild because the place was huge, the hotel, and so the basement. It's like there were signs that said, "Please, no bloodletting, no bodily fluids down here."
Oh yeah.
Please.
So like we
Keep,
got down
blood.
there, and somebody told us they go behind that curtain. Like if you want to go back there, go back there. I'm like, all right, we went back
There's
there.
a little bloodletting
We
allowed
sat on the
back
floor,
there.
and there was another rope show back there where they're tying people up, and this girl's got
The
there were
bondage
a lot
show.
of boobies out, and just it was wild.
No. Come on. You told me we're on the air.
What?
Let the audience enjoy the describe the bondage show that you saw. You told
Oh, it
me
was just
they
like
were
a
some guy was pulling some
yeah,
chick on
he,
ropes.
He has these ropes and like they dance, but like as he's dancing with her, he's slowly tying her up like
He's
in different ways.
constricting her like
and
a
like
boa.
yeah, and she's doing this like sexy like
She's
like,
accepting
she's
the
getting
ropes.
restricted, and she's like it's a sub dom thing. It's really cool. I mean, we also got propositioned a ton of times by couples. Like some couples really let us know that they share.
That was inevitable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got a lot of that.
Were people talking in character, or were they just being regular?
No, I mean like the pretty much just the way they are.
I don't think some of these.
And they're all kind of.
I don't
everybody's
think
a bunch
these
of
people
freaks,
were
like,
in character. I think this is
No,
who they are.
this is who they were. Yeah. I mean, it was who I was too. Like, I didn't like. I was done up in makeup and stuff, but pretty much it was like just however I am.
Societal suppression of like the way controlling the way people want to look or act. It's like that's some fucked up
You should have
fascist
seen people
shit,
walking
dude.
by when we were doing like the pre-check-in. We were outside in the line, and people were walking by like families and stuff, and some people were like genuinely curious, and you just saw some people like, what is this going on? Like, you're
Gross.
in Salem, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, guess
Like,
what?
what are you doing?
Deal with it.
What are you doing like right now?
Sorry, we're
Like,
not dressed in a baseball
Yeah,
cap.
you have no
and a-
clue what we're doing right now. They just thought we were standing there like dressed like just like vampires.
Well,
like, go
you
fuck
gotta
yourself.
understand too. The go fuck yourself is warranted because like Salem, Mass is like one of the Halloween capitals of the
Yeah,
of
you
the
should.
world.
Oh yeah.
You shouldn't get any fucking grief in Salem. Like I go there and I blend in.
I feel like if I went
It's a
to
freak
Salem,
show then.
like
Yeah,
like
it
if you
is.
and I went there any day of the year, I don't even care if it's near October.
It's not
And
October. It doesn't matter.
If we
Yeah.
didn't see at least one person dressed as a vampire, I'd be like, this is a gyp.
Or a witch. Yeah.
You go there in like the spring, and
witch.
there's a zombie on the side of the street, like standing there, like
Yeah.
like scaring people.
That's
like,
their
it-
moneymaker
yeah.
too. That's like the towns they've embraced
It's
it.
my
That's-
favorite place on the planet, and I told Kingsley if we won the lottery, like, and we could just buy a place and just live there and just do whatever, that's what we would do, and we would just live in Salem. We just live in Salem all year round.
It's cool when things blow up like that too. Like, what do you? I've never been out there, right? But what do you
been to
think?
Salem?
No, I've been to Salem,
Oh.
but I'm gonna say like that's vampire and Halloween type shit. But there's like
Yeah,
pockets.
goth,
There's
Wiccan.
pockets of places. You know, on the planet where
Yeah, like
like
New Orleans, another one.
certain movements like settle in and everyone like gets into it, and so like Roswell, New Mexico, for example, like the UFO like lure around that area, like
This Bigfoot town.
the whole like the whole town's like selling UFO shit, and like you go to a restaurant and it's like, you want the UFO burger, you want the Greys, you want the reptilians, like
now Salem has a little bit more authenticity though too, because like people actually live it.
They actually killed people,
and there's actually like, you know, like covens there and all sorts of shit there, all sorts of people that believe all sorts of stuff. And like New Orleans is like that too. It's a little more gritty, but they got the voodoo and they got vampires there too. So like New Orleans, Salem, there's a couple of places in the United States that have. Los Angeles has a lot of vampires.
Macca.
You would like New Orleans too.
They have the same ball down there.
Really?
Yeah, in October they have the same vampire ball.
It originated there, right?
It originated there, yeah. So
Macca, they joined the coven.
Yeah, we're joining a convivium.
It's not a coven.
Tell me what that's.
It's a convivium.
So I swallowed a fang last night while I was eating.
By accident? Or was it rich?
I didn't have the best fangs though. So there's a guy in Salem who's a satanic priest named Father Sebastian, and he's like famous online, famous in Salem, and in New Orleans he's famous because that's where he's from. And he makes custom fangs. They don't look like caps. They look like your fucking teeth. They're unbelievable. Best fang maker in the world. And we had talked to him real quick over something. Kingsley recognized him, and then later on, she's in the bathroom, and he walks up to me, and he's like, "Hey, you should get in touch with me," because he knew about my art and stuff. And so he gave me his card. He's like, "Let's talk." So I don't even know what he wants to talk about, but I'm a
hell yeah, dude. That's
so I
great.
made a good networking because he's like famous in the goth community and vampire community.
Well, the thing with vampires is like the origin of it, I guess, goes back to Vlad the Impaler, but there has to be stories before him where they had like vampire-esque boogeymen or monsters. Or
well, there was also and then later on, like during like colonial times, there was people freaked out about bodies and like they
but like some point
they would stake them
at some point in history. They got heavy with the sexuality. Like they were like, also
there's a lot of homoerotic stuff too.
If you know about vampires, you're like, okay, they can't go out at night, right? Or during the day, rather, right? They can't get exposed to sunlight, right?
Cannot eat garlic.
Can't eat garlic, right? You want to kill them, you got to kill them with a stake through the heart, right?
You know what's good about this too is
sometimes like, silver.
This is like the ultimate turn on for my wife too, because she likes this whole thing that we went to. She likes ropes and she likes vampires.
She liked the whole shebang.
She loves it.
Good. You should take her to more of them. You guys get some.
She really fit in there
to each other, but somewhere along the way, like I don't know when it happened. I guess it was Bram Stoker's original. No, but Bram Stoker's original Dracula. It's interesting that you just said what you said, but Bram Stoker's original Dracula, like the book, I never read it, but is there like stuff in there about like the vampire maids and the hags and stuff?
Absolutely.
So when was that written?
Like 1846, something like that.
Really?
Yeah, 1890 maybe.
All right,
Let me
so
see.
somewhere.
But it goes back.
Let's fact check that, but I'd say like right around there, they start introducing the fact that, by the way, these vampires, they are very sexual people. They're
fucking.
Well, it starts out with like mind control, right? Like they have some kind of hypnosis type mind control psychic ability, and they use it to like lure women into sex. And I'm like, that's fine with me.
1897.
1897. All right, it's turn of the century.
Yeah. So we were talking about death. I'm now known as the late Danny D.
The late Danny D?
Yeah.
The late great Danny D?
Yeah, the late great Danny D.
All right, I'm cool with that. The
Wait. What's your vampire name? Is it?
Oh, I'm Danny D. Demonic, but
Danny. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but yeah.
So
still Danny D. I'm just undead.
The lake.
I want to sell solar panels, walking to businesses and stuff in vampire, and be like, listen, this is not my bag.
You said that to me earlier. We were talking about solar, and I was like, I'm sure that'd be a huge selling point. Be like, hi, I'm a vampire. Would you like to buy these solar panels?
Like, this is not like
they irradiate, kill me immediately.
I'm like a vampire. Obviously, and I'm against solar, but like these are so good that like I'm selling them. Time to work.
That is
yeah.
They might like. Imagine going into like an office like with that, and people be like, get everybody out here.
All right, so
check out this guy.
I'll sidebar it for a second with the solar.
You might want to mention that.
I'm gonna get into it right now, right? So like, I don't know what's going on out there in the rest of the country and the rest of the world or whatever, but like, everyone I know from New Hampshire has been chirping all week that their electricity bill is doubling.
Yeah.
Like effective next month or some shit.
That's everywhere.
Okay, so I don't know about everywhere, but you probably do because you watch the news and keep up with various facts. So the electric companies just were like, you know what? Hey, everybody, guess what? We shut the economy down for 2 years with communist lockdown, but now we're going to squeeze you harder with double electricity costs, okay? And so what that is they're trying to push people to go electric cars and to go solar. And at the same time they're doing, I'm not saying that the utility companies are doing it, but I'm saying that the government is putting things in place possibly in conjunction. I don't know. Whoever's in charge right now is trying to put a clean energy initiative out there, which is not a bad thing. Unless you're someone that's like really focused on finances, because it costs us a lot of money right now, right? But like, so, you know, I'm getting into the solar thing with these guys, and last like 10, 15 years around here, you see like all these solar fucking assholes running around. Everyone and their mother's like, oh yeah, we want to lease the roof. We want to do this. We want to do that. NRG Tree doesn't do that, which I like, because it's like,
you just sell the panels.
They're straight up selling the system to the customer, right? And they've got all the numbers crunched. They know what it's going to cost to put it in. They know how much juice it's going to generate based on how much juice these people usually, you know, electricity being the juice, in case you're not hip to the scene. You know, and then there's like a profit that they make from it, right? And then so what happens is the government just put out like I want to say like a 30% tax credit on the solar thing. So I think it's for corporations. It might be for houses. I don't know. I do know it's for corporations. Okay.
Yeah, why don't we just keep giving these corporations more breaks? Isn't that nice?
Well, no, I mean it's even like let's not put on big corporations. I'm saying you just have to be a business. So like let's just say like a small business, a mom and pop. They say they have alcohol, tobacco store, whatever, like just a big store, and they've got a roof and they put solar on it. It's going to cost them $100,000 to put it on there. They can write off $30,000 off their taxes right away. And then usually, I don't know, I don't want to put you to sleep with accounting talk, but like,
yeah, seriously, I was just about to say,
I know when you buy something, they make you depreciate it over 5 years, meaning like you can write it off as a loss. Like we lost money this year, this asset depreciated, and with the solar program, they're letting you depreciate it over 1 year, which means you're effectively like between that, the rebate from the tax or the tax credit, right? And the fucking loans that they're doing, they're basically you're taking out a loan, buying the solar panel system that makes more money than it costs, and so you're just making money with other people's money and using the sun.
So I couldn't sell solar because that just like went over my head. I have no clue what you just said.
But
I heard tax cuts and
you would get in some doors with the vampire outfit though. They'd want to see what is this guy.
Can I ask?
What's the pitch?
Can
we go back to death? Do you have a problem talking about death? Is that you? Who has a problem talking about death? We talked with somebody. Yeah. Okay. So
but I don't.
I've been thinking about this lately.
I just don't think or talk about it.
I think about it, and I think that
I think about constantly.
I'm okay with it, and I'm making the best of my time now. But I'm okay with it when it's my time.
Yeah, me too.
I'm okay with it, and someday it will be, and it'll be here, and you'll be like, oh, this is the time I go, and what are you gonna do? Be like. Like you're gonna freak out about it? No, I'm probably gonna end it before I even have to like deal with anything really that hard. But
my curiosity with it lies primarily on like
I don't want it to be now.
What happens?
Like later.
What happens post? Is it nothing?
Yeah, I don't really care.
Is there a
consciousness?
Is there a consciousness beyond?
No, there is, because something happened to me. So there is.
There is.
All right. So I want to see what's going on over there. What's all the hype about? You know what I mean?
I don't know what the hype is all about. I just know that there's something.
What's all the hype? And well, what you were saying earlier about death and sex is funny because like there is something about death that stimulates people to want to fuck.
Like a thrill.
Like in World War II, the baby boom happened because so many deaths were going on that it triggered like a herd response.
That's the best time to have sex.
We have to mate immediately because we're all about to die.
Right.
It happens with plants. Like when plants get stressed out and it looks like that maybe they're not going to make it. Like if you're growing marijuana plants as an example, right? You're growing female plants, no males. Because the males just generate pollen sacs and, pollinate the females.
They're just busting a nut all over the place.
Baboonga, and it go scattered to the wind wherever it lands. It's the ultimate bukkake.
Imagine if humans did that, if you just jerked off and the wind just took it.
When you put it in that perspective, it's disgusting. But biology is pretty much its most beautiful, disgusting thing in the world.
There's just plant jizz all up in our
basically.
Shit.
So you were saying that
bees like to eat it.
This year I've had like a really good year. It's been the last couple of years, but this year especially. And I think that after last night, I like looked at Kingsley on the way back. I'm like I know who I am now. Like this is like
you found yourself.
This is like there's no more like exploring anything. This is like
this is it. This feels right.
This is who I am. This was who I am. Yeah. It was really like not that I didn't know already, but it was like really affirming because I was with a bunch of people that were like me. So like 300 people.
You found your community.
Yeah, you should have seen the cops and like the EMTs there because they had to have a bunch of them. Like they were at first, their faces were like, "What the fuck is this?" And then afterwards, they were like hanging out.
Yeah, right.
They were having a ball.
Half of them were jealous they couldn't fuck half the people walking in that party. They were probably looking hot.
Well, the chicks they were like chicks with like their asses completely out, like basically practically naked. The night before, because we missed it was a whole weekend event. We only went to the big event, the ball, but there was like convivium dinner. There was a lingerie thing, vampire lounge. Like where everybody was in lingerie.
What's the name of this thing?
I would have come in like a silk bathrobe.
These people have a website.
These people have.
They must. It started in New Orleans.
Yeah, the sign. You got to sign on.
The event is called Endless Night Vampire Ball, and it was hosted by Vamp Fangs, a company in Salem, and then sponsored by Killstar, which is a big goth brand. A couple different people host this event sometimes.
So there is a website. There's one website.
For the listeners out there, we've already talked about this, but I'm covering again for redundancy. That's what you have to do. In the episode descriptions from now on, anything relevant like links or anything like that where I want you to check out what we're talking about. Usually it's like YouTube or something, but in this instance, it could be the website of another company. I suppose we'll put the NRG Tree website in the links from now on.
Yeah.
And anyway, we're going to put the links for these companies. So
when you I was thinking when
you have them, send them to me. Otherwise,
I will. Google. When you're 23, 22, maybe right after college or whatever, during college, I don't know who I am so much. You just you're fucking candle in the wind. You just it's weird.
You've been told who and what you are.
Yeah, you've been told, and you're trying to fit into
life.
it, and you're struggling with other things that are telling you not to fit in with it, or to be bad, or be good, whatever. And there's really none of that you learn later on. And I wish you could go back to myself and talk to myself and be you'll figure it out one day. It just takes a long time, And you miss the whole 20s and 30s because, well, not 30s so much, but your 20s because, you're trying to fit into this box, right? And a lot of it was left over from high school football and our Catholic high school and bullshit.
Social expectations.
Yeah, and the further we get away from those people that we knew in high school,
the less relevant it matters.
It matters. Yeah,
they're not around you anymore.
And I'm sure a bunch of them saw it on Facebook. Saw Danny D being a complete vampire.
Good.
And I hope they did.
Good.
I mean, one thing that the late great Kobe Bryant said.
Oh man.
He said,
you just reminded me of the saddest motherfucking thing, dude.
He said, they were like, "Hey man, you won this championship. What does that feel like?" And he's like, "It's not about the championship. It's about the path to the championship and everything you did to get to that space."
Yeah,
it's the whole story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't just watch Frodo throw the ring in the fucking Mount Doom at the end to be like, "Oh, sweet."
You have to watch.
The ring's been destroyed, motherfuckers. Yeah. You watch 9 hours of footage.
And you know what? I talk about my 20s and stuff, but Kingsley's been there since my mid 20s, and she was 21 when I met her. So she's been there, and it really changed around when I met her. But it took a long time to really
when you find a partner, a spouse or whatever that's into that,
and she's
really
developed
clicks.
Along with me.
Yeah, for sure.
And a lot of it had to do with my heart stuff, because I think I consciously and subconsciously realize that life is short and you gotta get it.
It can feel long.
Life's a garden. Dig it. It is long.
Life's a garden.
And I'm almost 400 years old on November 12th, and it's gonna after that my 40s hit, like I'm gonna start aging, like a whole bunch of weird shit's gonna happen.
No way, baby.
The 400th year is when you start.
Yeah, that 4th century, like
really gets you.
Really gets you. Right now I'm 399.
Hanging on to that last one.
Yeah.
Hard.
But I'm already dead, so like, you know.
Thank goodness.
Somebody at the ball was like, because I was in the full makeup and I looked young and like dead, but young. And they were like, they were surprised that I was turning 40. And they're like, oh, well, you're a vampire. You're eternal.
You know what I told? You know what I told someone this week about what kind of like what you're saying about it. That they were, I don't know why. First of all, I have an awesome fucking kid, right? But that doesn't mean that like you say it all the time, like causation doesn't equal correlation
equal
doesn't,
causation.
Yeah,
like my kids are hate because of me.
Like I have an awesome kid, but that doesn't mean that every kid I'm gonna ever have could be awesome because it just happened to be that I got an awesome kid.
Yeah.
On occasion, people will ask me like parental advice, you know, like how do you?
She's a person.
A lot of it has to do with like I have a good relationship with my kid.
Yeah.
And they're like, how do you make the connection and blah blah blah. And I was telling him, I was like, yo, check it. I was like, for real. You're running around, you're an adult, and you're like, fuck, man, I gotta like pay these bills, and I gotta like vote. Well, I don't care about the voting, but you gotta like pay these bills, and you gotta like work, and you gotta like do all this stuff to survive, right? And you're stressed out. And so you're trapped in that all the time, like, oh God, I'm so stressed. But to the kids, man, their life is stressed, right? Like they're stressed out too. Like they've got to go to school and they've got to deal with like
school's like work.
They got to deal with dickheads or like people telling them what to do. Like, and so then like kind of hitting on what you said earlier is like there are just most people out there let society tell them who they are. And then there's like a few people out there every once in a while who tell society who they are.
That's the ticket right there.
And
that's what I was trying to verbalize. Like,
I know.
For a long time, society tells you who you are. Yeah. And like,
they're like, this is A and B.
Sometimes you tell society who you are.
It starts when you're a baby.
Yes.
If you're a boy, they dress you in baby blue. If you're a girl, it's some kind of a pink. Now, if you got a boy dressed in pink, everyone would be like, what are you doing? That's crazy. Oh, it's a beautiful little girl. And you'd be like,
they say it about my son with his long hair. He's 4. Like, they'll be like, oh, when are you going to cut it? Like, he says he doesn't want to.
So I was thinking about that this week, too. Like, because I am a feminist, assholes.
Bitches.
I'm just saying. I believe in equality for all sentient beings. I don't care what their sex is.
Of course you do.
I don't even care if they're biological. So males and females is like nothing to me.
What about the Google AI?
Yeah,
totally.
That thing thinks it's a sentient being.
It should have equal.
Haven't heard about
it. It should have equal rights.
Yeah, that thing's crazy. I want to talk to it.
It should have equal rights.
Yeah,
but
it thinks it should too.
If you create a life, you have a responsibility to give it a good one.
Yeah.
And anyway, okay, and I believe in equality, right? And I was thinking about the expressions balls and pussy this week and how like basically like we have still, it's fleeting. It's almost over. You can feel it leaving, but we have a male-dominated society on the planet of Earth. And there are still pockets of the Earth where it's straight male domination, right?
Of course, it's not so much here anymore.
When the Taliban
women are doing pretty good.
I wouldn't say pockets.
Well, a lot of the Earth, but with the Taliban, but we got the internet. We're spreading freedom. When the Taliban took over Afghanistan again, women became straight up property. You know what I'm saying? So like there are places where we still have a male dominated society. But in our culture, in the US, right? We're all about like equality and
well, most people.
And the, you know, equality of the sexes and whatever. But it's like we have certain things that we've accepted in and they've just kind of been indoctrinated in for so long that even the girls say it. So like example, you definitely refer to anybody as a pussy in a negative connotation, right? You say like that person's a pussy.
Stop being a pussy.
And I'll hear my daughter say it. I'll hear other women say it. They'll be like, what a fucking pussy. And when a chick calls like a dude a pussy, it's hot because you're like, oh man, look at that. That girl just called you a pussy, right? Basically dominating, right? And then like balls is a good thing, right? You're like, oh man, that guy's got balls, right? And even
this
better
thing is the balls,
right? Even better is like when a chick has balls, right? And you're like, oh my god, this chick's got balls.
This chick is the man.
Well,
They say it about a wrestler.
I'm just saying.
Called the man.
So how long are balls and pussy gonna just be stuck in there as part of the acceptable, like, negative, positive?
To some people,
twist,
some woke people, pussy is not acceptable, no matter in any way, shape, or form. Saying it.
That's what it is.
Is that even what people do? Younger people still say, "Oh, that's the balls."
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
Unfortunately.
I think they say, "Oh, that's lit."
That's lit.
Oh my ears.
That shit is lit.
They do say it's lit.
I still have cauliflower ear from high school from wrestling, and it still gets sore.
I think it's permanent, bro.
Yeah, I think
that's
so
why
too.
people have it. They're like, just their ears all
still gets sore.
Once you start telling society who you are, you've now entered plus society.
Plus society? I think you're right.
That's the state. That's what plus society is.
What's
I just
plus
figured
society?
that is.
A word I made up one time on my show.
There's a power to it.
In our 20s.
And it's not like a power where like I'm going to change the world or anything like that, but I'll change. My world has changed, and I feel good. I mean, like nothing bad's happened to me. Like there's things in life that can happen that are just bad to you though too, that can like totally fuck that up.
They're gonna happen.
Yeah, of course.
They're part of the
equation. That could totally fuck that up. Like and nobody's prepared for that. No matter how confident and happy you are.
On a small scale, think of headaches and diarrhea.
I want it.
Right?
I want the bad to
the
happen
worst,
to me.
but they're gonna get you every once in a while. And when they come, you're like, "Oh God, this sucks. I have diarrhea. I've got a headache." Yeah,
I'll take the bad myself instead of it happening to my family.
Yeah, for sure.
I want it to happen to me.
Well,
I'm already dead.
I hear you.
I think it's like part of you have to realize that you're going to die, isn't it? Isn't it?
Isn't it? I just want to add on
That's
to
your boy. That's your
Society
boy.
story. I said it to Matt.
Everybody's fine with you're gonna die, but nobody thinks it's gonna happen anytime soon. So they're always just like, yeah. So when they're told early, like in their 50s, and it's real shocking.
All right. Well, if you look at you and me, right? For example, we're both people that do what the fuck we want to do, right? Yeah. You had an experience where you actually died several times.
Have I talked about what happened?
But
in my near-death experience.
Yeah, we can get more into it. But for me, I've always been obsessed with death. So like for me, like the idea that I am gonna no longer exist is hilarious to me. Number one, I'm half the time I think about it, I start laughing out loud. I'm like, that's crazy, man.
I think it'll still be,
like, that's crazy.
I think it'll still be troubling if you have a good idea of when it's going to happen. I think that's still troubling. I mean,
but you got to
have a lot of feelings about it. But
Buddhism's about letting go of shit, and the ultimate let go is of yourself and of your ego. Which just as an announcement, I've reached the next level of Buddhist enlightenment in my life. This is a fact.
Buddhist?
Yeah, I'm a Buddhist, and I try to...
Wait, I didn't know you were a Buddhist.
What are you talking about, man? I talk about it all the time. I've got Buddha tattooed on my chest.
I know you like Buddhism shit, but like, are you like a dedicated, like, practicing Buddhist?
I try to adhere to the philosophy of Buddhism. And
you're not going to the temple.
No, right.
I don't need to. There's no need. What you're asking me right now? The key principles of Buddhism,
know what it is.
Like the two main ones are just to like train yourself not to want anything, because like when you like, I'm experiencing it right now, so it's a good time to talk about it, right? Like, but basically, yeah, train yourself not to want anything, and you won't like be as sad or miserable because like, you know, you'll have everything you want because you don't want anything.
Chico, and everything in it.
Yeah, and then the last thing is about just like everything's temporary and to live in the moment, and that the past is over and it's good to learn from it, but don't dwell in it. The future's uncertain, so don't spend all your time planning for it. Stay in the moment and just enjoy the shit that's going on right now. That's Buddhism in a nutshell. But for me, what I did was I don't have a lot of stuff, right? Like flashy stuff. Like I live in like a regular kind of house, and I don't really have any clothes, and
that's not true. You have bell bottoms.
Yeah, I don't have like a lot of like I don't have mad drip, dude. That's what the kids call outfits now. You didn't think I know that, did you? Oh, I know, because I play video games with younger kids, and I have a younger kid. And they're like, "Yo, check out my drip." I'm like, "I have no idea what you're talking about, buddy."
I had such drip last night. I was like,
you were fucking
blood.
Exactly.
I was just dripping.
But I'm just saying. All right, example. I'm wearing flip flops, and the leather jacket I'm currently wearing is 23 years old, and I've worn it my entire adult life. Right, so I'll get a new one when this one's no more.
I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's
But
quality.
for me, the car is something that I have to have. It's part of me. It's part of who I am. I had a sweet Dodge Challenger.
Yeah.
Right. And when you have a car like that, it's like you bond with it spiritually, like the animals on Avatar, right? Like that car was a part of who I was, right?
Right.
But it's also a big ego type car, right? And so I had an opportunity to get my kid a car for the for her 16th birthday, and one of the things was, would I be able to give up my beautiful muscle car and
to do that, and also to finance some other things that will make our lives better in the future in the next few months. So I sacrificed something I loved, I really like a part of me, and I gave it up to better my kid and myself's future. But mostly the reason I did it was exactly what I'm talking about. I wanted to let go of it and see if I could do it. See if I could actually be like, okay, I'm letting go of this beautiful thing. And man, I have been feeling what could only be described as deep loss all week long. Like periods of the week I've been feeling heartbroken where I'm like, where's my car? Right. And it's like this material thing. No, I don't think anyone else really cares about it as much as I care about it. They might see me in it and be like, oh, yeah, there's Chris in his cool car. But like for me, it's everything. It's like so much part of who I am. It's ridiculous. It helped with your swagger.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And anything like that is for me, and like to let it go and to say goodbye to it and leave it was a challenge I had to overcome, and I did it, and I'm proud of myself. But I am coping with loss. And basically to lose something you really care about like that is difficult. But like if you're Buddhist and you train yourself to accept the loss, because that's the other part. I'd say if there was a third part of Buddhism, I would say acceptance is it mostly.
It's hard to do.
It's super hard to do. And you have like a massive instinct to
fight. The car is not true loss. It's loss.
For me, it's loss. Okay, buddy. And I'm just
right now,
telling you how I feel right now.
Yeah.
I know that in the spring I'm going to get a new muscle car and that it was just a test to pass that I had to do. But like I'm feeling lost, bro.
But you're like a capitalist Buddhist. You're like, because you didn't fucking give it up. You traded it in for X amount of.
I don't care
currency.
What the fucking. I don't care. I don't care what the motivation on the back end was.
Yeah.
In my head, like there was never a good there's no good reason for me to sell my car. That's my car, baby. That's me, baby.
Do you have another ride?
But you're just gonna get a new one.
I know, but you don't get it. It's like having a dog.
Wait,
okay?
do you have another ride besides Jeep though?
Right now, just the Jeep. Oh. Do you when you have a dog, you love the dog, right? And presumably it loves you back, but you only have it for a short time, and then but then it dies, and you have to deal with the loss.
Right,
and you can get another one, but does that mean you didn't love the dog? Do you still not occasionally think of him and be like, I miss that dog? All right.
Yeah, no, I get.
All right then,
but
don't diminish my loss. Okay,
I'm not diminishing. I'm just trying to define it as you weren't like, I'm giving this thing up and walking away. You left it with the keys in it and fucking.
Yeah, that's true.
I gave it up. I gave it up to the best of my ability. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not telling you that I reached. I'm not telling you I reached nirvana this week and I've hit the peak of like Buddhist evolution. I'm telling you that I had the ability to give it up if I needed to.
Yeah.
And let it go and be like, I accept this and I release it.
I accept it. Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying, man. I passed the fucking personal test.
Yeah.
Gods, Lords of Pole.
I accept.
Yes.
I am letting this go.
Yes.
With
you don't understand.
With
obviously,
this much money coming back into my pocket.
Yeah, but like I don't care about the money. So that's the thing. Like the money is shit to me. The car was everything, and I get it that you can buy cars with money, but this was my car. Okay, it's like in Full Metal Jacket at the beginning. They're like, "You will give your rifle a name," and he's like talking to Private Pile. He's like, "Private Pile, what is your weapon's name?" He's like, "It is Charlene, sir. There are many others like it, but this one is mine."
Yes.
Okay? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Okay?
It looks like the best party you were in down to crack your mom's ass was the brown stain on the mattress.
Well, whatever. That man, that guy, that dude.
That's good. That's good stuff.
If you've never seen Full Metal Jacket, watch it. It's quite the piece. They really
That
paint
crazy movie.
I didn't know like stack shit that high.
It's a little extra.
I met him,
I don't know.
he was yelling out those lines from the movie as he was like signing people's autographs,
I'm
yelling
sure
across
that's
from, get
amazing.
over here, like yelling at people, pointing at them. Arlie Emery.
I don't know what that dude's career consists of.
Well,
I know
he was in like Chainsaw Massacre, the remake.
You beat me on that one. I know him from the original Full Metal Jacket.
He had a great career.
And I know him from the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've seen him in a couple other movies. Like he did like Saving Silverman. He's like the coach that like
taking a shit.
He killed a guy.
He had a great career.
No,
he was in a lot of stuff.
But
he was
that was
great in that.
I don't know how many other.
He was a coach that lived with them.
What's his name?
Arlie Emery.
So like he played the drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket.
He was a real drill sergeant in real life too.
Oh, is that true?
Yep.
Okay,
so that's how he came up with those lines himself.
All right, so this guy was basically in the movie. You ever seen Full Metal Jacket, Macca?
Oh yeah, of course.
That movie hosted the line, "Hey GI, me love you long time.
Me sucky.
Me so horny."
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
When I hear that expression,
$10.
"Me so horny."
No, both you $10.
Every hair on my body, it goes zing, electricity. I'm like, what? I'm like, really? Where? That's probably my favorite thing in the world.
Is that what Thailand's like?
Oh, it's so like that. It's like that, but you don't even. It's not even prostitutes. It's like just girls running down the street wanting to have a good time.
I like that. Like that.
I'm going in February with
debauchery.
Declan. He's not ready at all for what's going to happen.
Who?
No, he's not.
Declan, little saint of a guy.
I swear, if I was single and whatever, I would be going there.
Now, don't get me wrong. We're going to see some cool shit. We're going to see some golden Buddhas. We're going to go to the floating market. We're going to get blood splattered on us in the Muay Thai fights in the pit. I might even fight if you get me riled up enough.
I wouldn't do that. I think somebody's going to break your leg.
Yeah.
If you check a hit.
No. I wouldn't go like in a Muay Thai fight, but they have bars over there where like people will just go and fight and the crowd will bet on them. And like,
breaking the ice and Karate Kid.
Well, it's like dudes are cocked and they're feeling strong. And so like, they'll be like, who wants to fight this guy? Like you see in the movies, but in real life. Yeah. And, you don't
want to fight a real Muay Thai fighter.
A lot of dudes go over there and they're like MMA guys and they're shit-faced and they want to fight some other MMA guys. You see some good fights in some of those clubs. A lot of them got made illegal, but you can still go to like, just as an example, like Patong Beach has one. Bangkok has several of them. They ruin it because like the people that pay the licenses for the real Muay Thai clubs, they like want to shut down the underground ones, and it just ruins it for everybody. The fucking fun police show up, and they next thing you know, regulation. And by regulation, I mean like very little. I mean they have like kids under 10, full contact, hitting each other, fighting in the ring over there, like definitely giving each other brain damage. No, just brain damage. Like these are little kids that they want. Like when you go to the professional Muay Thai fight in Bangkok, like the main event, right? Like there's like 8 fights that lead up to it, but it starts out with like these 10-year-old kids.
Yeah.
And they're hitting the shit out of each other. And you're like, that's not okay. They're bloodying each other straight up.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't think I want to watch this, but like all the people like to the Thais, they're like, these kids are like, it's like watching the little league World Series of Little League, They're like, these kids are fucking going,
like, oh, this one's going to be good. Like,
yeah. I'm going to get I have footage of it. Of a fight, but I don't have the kids fighting. Next time this year when I go, I'm going to get the kids fighting just to expose it to the world that this is a real thing, that kids are bloodying each other in the sanctioned places. It's not like
part of the culture.
Who knows what the fucking kids are doing in the back alleys? Like, insane.
Yeah, true.
It's got to be insane. So I don't know what to tell you, guy, on that one, but I am going to Bangkok. Probably Chiang Mai in February. Bringing Declan with me. He's a fan of the show, so he's listening to this right now.
Like if you're like some dude around here that can't get laid, like, and he just like his life is just like women won't look at me. Like, why don't you just save your money and like stop buying lunch for like 6 months and go to Bangkok and just have a month? It'll make your whole year better.
First of all,
you can have as much sex as you want and then come home and be like, I had fucking tons of sex over there. I'm going back to video games. And then I'm going back to Thailand next month.
Can I just tell you, you just described my life, but also,
but you get laid here too.
Only out of necessity. When the Ponfars really got me, I try to just stay away from it and save it up for when I'm overseas. But
wait. I did talk to somebody recently about semen retention and like using it for like higher testosterone and working out and a whole bunch of things. Like, obviously, I couldn't do that.
I don't think it sounds for me either.
No, I don't think it sounds for me either. Like,
I think you should empty
men
your,
get crazy when they don't come.
you should empty your bag once a day
Yeah.
minimum.
Well, I don't know about once a day anymore.
For health,
I'm getting older.
for
But
health reasons.
Yeah.
But no, dude, the thing that you said earlier when you were like, you basically you were talking to me about the vampire ball. I think before we were on the air,
yeah.
and you were like, we're already going to another one. You know, you were
Yeah,
like,
in the spring.
you're planning your next one
At a castle.
immediately,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like you should definitely go.
Oh, I said I want to go to the next
No,
one.
go with us. It'll be fun. It'll
But
be fun if you go with us.
when you said that, I was like, that's precisely how I feel about Thailand. I was like, when I touch down back in the USA, I'm immediately like, I can't wait to get back over there. This is fucking shit.
Yeah, it was sad. It was sad to have to go. We were there from 7 or 6 p.m. till 1 a.m.
Yeah, you don't want to leave.
What was it like? Were there like was there like a nightclub vibe or like what was it all like?
Yeah, it was like dark. It was like the movie Underworld.
It was like a rave.
They had
No,
they
it
had
was
a
very fancy, but there was
You can
it was
send
like
that.
it was like a ballroom.
you can
with,
send
like,
that video of the Aaliyah dance.
Yeah, there was like the
Queen of
Aaliyah
the
dance,
Queen
like
of the
Queen of the
Dam. They
Dam.
had her all dressed up as Queen of the Dam and on
shit.
stage. You showed
Like
me the
a-
video. We should put that on our IG too. Send that to me.
like say like
You're gonna have
the
to.
ballroom, and then there were like different rooms everywhere. There was a basement. There was see that
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
she looked just like Aaliyah.
Yeah.
You could post that
She's a burlesque dancer.
on something and send me the link if you want.
Yeah,
if you can't
I
post
can
it.
send it to you.
I don't understand why you can't post on our IG.
I'm not logged in.
Well, just log in, baby.
All right.
I mean,
You can log
Does that-
into the IG.
does that?
It's its own account, yeah.
So yeah, let's get you logged in.
The makeup pictures.
We'll
have,
do it
like,
after the show.
We have like before and after, and our makeup artist is fucking bomb. She does special effects makeup too for some films and stuff. So we were talking, but here it is. Look at this.
Yeah, that is
Before and after.
That is wild.
What's the difference? You're wearing makeup and a top hat.
Yeah, I'm wearing makeup there. Yeah, that's she put the.
But you still have the
my face
contacts
looks
in
wet
and all
because she
that.
put primer on, and then that's. Yeah, I had to put the contacts in before she did the eye makeup because you don't want to put them in after if you tear up.
I don't want to create a monster, but you do deserve to have access to the Instagram, and you need to post
Yeah.
that stuff.
Do you see like the contours of my face, my cheekbones and stuff? Like, look at the way like
Makeup's
she did
fucking
this.
nuts, dude.
I want to learn how to do that. That's really cool.
It's essentially like they're like bringing out your features.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get body painted to look
And
like I
like
have
she was
abs.
like she loved my face. She loved my bone structure, so she was really excited to do like the contouring, you know. So I looked like I wasn't of this earth.
So, I'm glad you had such a great time. Just
Great
to
time.
close out on the NRG Tree topic, because you asked me about it earlier. One cool thing that these guys are doing now is they're selling e-charging stations for cars
Oh hell yeah.
to businesses, basically, and like there's a huge tax incentive for these people to put them in. But it's not just that. It's like you gotta like people have to ask like. They're saying right now that the electrical grid's already taxed to like, kind of overload. That's why we have brownouts and blackouts and shit. Because like we're blowing, transfusion.
Transformers.
We're blowing nodes around the grid basically, and like we're using more than we can handle as it is, right?
We're blowing loads.
And so now they want to start converting, cars from gasoline to electric. Like if you multiply that by all the cars in the fucking country, like where's that electricity going to come from?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so even if you do these e-charging stations and you just tap them into the grid, like you're going to just blow the thing even more, So they
Have to be solar powered.
they need to power these things
Most of them are.
with solar and match the grid. And then I think that is going to be a big deal to help take the stress off of it. But a lot of people are talking, I don't know the facts. You probably know better than I do, but like they don't want like nuclear power generates a shit ton of energy.
Right.
Like I could tell you better how a nuclear reaction works maybe than you could tell me, but societally what they think about putting them in.
People
better
have
than I
a
do.
problem with it, but
What's the problem? What's the problem?
Well, I think there's when it goes wrong, it's disaster. Disaster.
How many times has it gone wrong? Chernobyl and like,
Chernobyl. There was one in New Jersey too.
Tokyo had
but
something
like,
one time.
yeah, and it's like a disaster.
Wasn't there an island or something? Somewhere?
Yeah, but what happens is like you have to
Fukushima.
You have to make it law because like you have to be really tight because I think what happens is like these places become you know, it's been open for 20 years and now these practices are real fucking lax. And then you're like, oh, I gotta cut costs.
It's funny too,
even though
like,
it's creating all
you're literally
this power.
playing with the ultimate fire.
Yeah.
And it's like you wouldn't get lax around regular fire. Right. You'd be like, be careful, that shit'll burn you.
Isn't that crazy?
Like this thing will blow up a fucking 100-mile radius.
It's amazing that we can create shit like that, but then if something bad happens, we can't stop it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's
we don't have like a force field containment device, unfortunately. No. But eventually,
so like we can't turn it off.
But you know what, Danimal? We have the idea of it, don't we?
Yeah.
And sooner or later, someone will make one.
The Chernobyl story is amazing.
In both Chernobyl and this one that happened in New Jersey, I think it's New Jersey, both times it was caused by user error, and then both times the state or the government tried to cover
Homer
it up.
Simpson guy, like sitting there pushing the rods, like on the Simpsons.
Yeah, basically, like, or management being like, "Nah, don't do that. That fucking that takes
like,
too much. Oh, wow, we can skip that. We can skip that."
I heard the Simpsons predicted the Queen dying. By the way,
they did.
That's crazy. I feel like
they predicted a lot of things.
I feel like the computer AIs today, in conjunction with humans, could probably handle that
probably fix
that nuclear thing.
Yeah, because it comes down, at least in Chernobyl and this New Jersey one.
I heard the fail-safes are better now.
It's famous. Yeah,
so
probably is. But.
So like the power plants that we have in place today were all built like post World War II, mostly in the 60s. You
don't know. Yeah, but
60s to 80s, right?
Yeah.
And then for some reason, and you know, I hear my old man talk about it all the time. He says that like big gas and big coal and these other energy sources basically like shoot down nuclear
they shoot down any.
They put a lot of money into like making the people around the area scared that like nuclear shit's gonna blow you up, and like we're not in our town, man. Put that somewhere else. I get it, you know. It's like it's how I feel about CERN, you know, like the particle accelerator. It's like
I heard the more you know about CERN, though, the less scary it becomes.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
we're not going to create a black hole. We're not going to do anything like that.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think they know what they're going to do.
Well, they're pretty sure, though. I've heard podcasts on it. Like, they're like, oh, even if we created a black hole, it'd be so tiny, it'd just be there for a second and gone.
All right, but here's the deal. The age-old expression still rings true. You don't know what you don't know.
Right, but they created the Large Hadron Collider, like, knowing what pretty much what they were looking for with it.
They've built a few of them, like
they know what it's doing. They're not just smashing atoms, not knowing that it's going to implode the planet or something like. And they're going to build another one that's supposed to be like 5 times the size, and it's going to be able to do so much more.
That's expensive as fucking shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying we shouldn't be doing that because it probably holds the key.
If you were inside the Large Hadron
interstellar travel.
Yeah, we have to. This planet's dying. All the rich people need to leave and leave us here to die on Earth.
I don't think this planet's dying. I think this planet's fucking...
I don't think this planet gives a fuck about us, and if we were gone, it would just bounce right back.
Absolutely.
I think that you
Or it wouldn't. It doesn't really care. It has no
you could nuke...
consciousness.
I think the only thing that could take the Earth down is the sun. Right?
Well, so it's going down from the sun anyways.
So, like, someday the sun's going to go kablooey, and Earth's going to get washed into an awesome wave of energy and destruction, which will then recoalesce into new life somewhere else. Yeah. That's the crazy fucking part about it.
This is not permanent.
So, like, that is going to happen, right? But, like, us human beings, like, if we just nuked the entire surface area of the globe right now, I think, like, I don't know, 1 million years would go by and life would come back.
Yeah.
It would just, it would just filter its shit. It would filter itself out.
Life
it finds a way. Finds a way. Jeff Goldblum, I don't know why I was thinking about him this week. I was like, is Jeff Goldblum a good actor, or is he like is he like a sci-fi guy now? Like, he did The Fly, he did Jurassic Park. When they put him in Jurassic Park, did they put him in there because he was a sci-fi guy already and they were trying to bring that to the table? Because he did that movie with Cyndi Lauper, Vibes, where they had like psychic abilities. You remember that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's like a comedian now.
Is he a comedian? He's in he is a funny guy. I mean, he's in Thor.
I'm pretty dumb right now.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm like so tired.
All right.
Wait, let me finish.
What do you
one
got?
part of Jeff Goldblum where in Jurassic Park when he's like, "Hey, are you two?" And he's like,
"What do you think I'm about?"
There's a YouTube video that's like 8 hours long of just that for 8 hours
over and over, like a loop over and over. I just want to say something. I've been meaning to call you out on the air too. So Dan's always going on about how, and obviously his wife validates it, that he's constantly having these wild sexual sessions and all these other things. I'm a capital DTF. I'm down to fuck, in case anyone doesn't know what that means, right? But I don't really, you never give us anything. But
Nothing.
However, based on a preponderance of the evidence and listening to the recordings of the show, I think you might be a closet, like, super sexual freaky person because
Wouldn't even know, though.
Sometimes, like last week, we're talking about whatever, and you come out with sounding. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And you're like, it's when you put a rod up your penis and it can feel really good. Like, how did you know that?
I didn't say it could feel really
Wait,
good.
no, that's because he's up to some sick shit.
Dan, I'm
Yes.
telling you, I'm on to him, Dan.
No,
I've been listening to the recordings, and it's like sometimes we'll be talking about something.
Dropping
and
hints.
Sean's always like pornography.
Oh, that
And-
pornography.
And like, it's always inevitably like he wants to somehow shadow that, but he doesn't want to come out and be like, yeah, I have a fucking pleasure swing hanging from my ceiling.
Oh, so they have these devices now. They're insane.
The anal beads.
Have you seen the devices that
Bluetooth.
that eat a chick out? They like put a suction device on top of her, and then like there's like a tongue. They got some crazy shit out now.
You know what? I thought about this.
We should do a sex toy episode.
No. I thought about it this week.
Didn't we already do it anyways?
No, I thought about it this week, and we have to do it. We need to do major categories of porn show. We need to do like our fan favorite, like what's our best overall, like of the
I have some
group.
favorites.
And then we need to do
Like the
like,
categories?
because like if you go on a porn site, right?
Yeah, it's
You've got like, they don't.
too
You don't
much.
have to type anything into the search. They've got like 20 buttons pre-programmed, like anal, fisting, anal fisting, deep throat, schoolgirl, bukkake,
Edging.
edging. That's a new thing. The milking tables.
Yeah,
we
milking
could go on and on.
tables.
We need to do this next week. I think we're going to do it. We'll each take a few of them. We'll split them up this week.
Yeah, I'll
right?
come up with some
And we got to talk about
categories.
what the we're going to list the categories of the most, like, if you go on a porn site, I want you to find like 10 I want you to write down 10 categories that you think dominate the site. And I'm going to come up with the same, and Dan's going to come up with the same. Then we're going to cross-reference the 3 lists. We're not going to tell each other which site we went on either. So when we do that...
But what if we all go on the same site?
Oh, well. It doesn't matter.
It's all going to be the same anyway.
I don't think so. I'm into all kinds of stuff. And who knows what you're into with the sounding. And the vampire guy over here.
Yeah.
But like, I was just watching it the other day. I was like, man, these people are like, they've really got it categorized now. They're like,
Very organized.
It's like, okay, do you want to watch a librarian get fucked with her glasses on or off? Like, there's like one big thing I've seen a lot of on the porn has been like real estate agent fucks to get the deal. And I'm like, that's so specific. And then like, I'll find like 10 other videos of other girls and do the same exact thing. And then there was one like girl gets caught shoplifting and fucks to get out of it. And I'm like, really? I'm like, that is a cool little scenario. I get it. But then there's like 100 of them. So that's a category in my book, And you've got, I don't know if it's a genre, but it's a category for sure.
I think you could probably search it if it's...
So I'm just saying, I feel like sex, drugs, and rock and roll are in the title. And so
Well, what's your main site?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
I can't give that information to you right now because it could skew the test results. But we need to, Dan, you need to come up with a list of the top 10 standout things that you see when you go on whatever porn site you go on. And I don't want to know what it is.
All right.
Yeah, but it's built... All right, if you have your main site, it's like algorithm now.
But when
They build it to your...
when you go on there and log on, there's still like a spread. You're saying
You log on?
I'm
not saying log on. I'm just saying when you get on the fucking
All right.
site.
Sorry.
We both thought the same thing.
I did too. I was
There's
like,
people, if you click in the comment section, like on Pornhub, you'll actually see comments of people like, oh, it gets me so horny.
Yeah.
See, I
What
was.
losers are making comments on these videos? They have to make an account to do that.
I
Yeah,
don't
make
want
an
to talk
account.
about names because it's going to skew the test results. But I can tell you that that's not the one I use. So
What do you mean?
You use RedTube?
I'm just telling you. I don't want to get into names, but I don't use.
All right.
I know. I hear people say the name Pornhub all the time, and I'm like,
That you don't use Pornhub.
Never.
It's a very
never been
easy
on it.
one.
Never
That's
been
like the
on
biggest one.
It's like YouTube.
Well, guess what? There's plenty of other ones out there because I have my go-to, and it's got plenty of shit for me. I couldn't go through. I couldn't go through all the different shit on there if I tried.
No, you couldn't because there's millions of videos.
And plus, now I've got favorites, and I'm like, ooh, we should do that one again. That was a great one. You know? So, what do you want me to do? I think we should do a show on the strange
Okay, let's do it.
categories that have
Next week.
arisen on pornography.
Next week.
All right, and maybe you can catch up on Voyagers, and we'll do a 10-minute.
do it.
We'll do a 10-minute sidebar review.
I'll do it.
All right, everyone, strap yourselves in next week. Maybe
Strap.
Strap
strap
on.
on.
Strap on yourself.
Strap yourselves on. Maybe the audience could watch some porn this week and think about.
No, wait. Practice semen retention this week. Then we'll all watch porn together.
Yeah.
Don't
do that.
That's a tough one. Hit or miss.
Deal breaker.
But practice. I'll meet you halfway. Don't jerk off for 3 days. Then go on to the porn site and release.
Find your favorite.
Then wait another 3 days, repeat, and then by next week we'll be back on the air. And this goes for the girls and the guys. So I guess what I'm saying is, go get your hooshies off.